We begin at 5 o'clock with the newest COVID forecast for Oregon. It predicts we are on track to peak with this current surge very soon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Mulco. Though a word of caution here, the numbers are still climbing in the state, especially when it comes to people being hospitalized. Tim Gordon joins us now. Tim, you've also got some news out of Clark County tonight that case numbers there have fallen.
Right, David, but ever so slightly. And Clark County health officials say that that is not an indication that they are falling for sure at this point. And in Oregon, the forecast for a peak in new cases is just days away, if it hasn't already arrived.
The beginning of the end of the latest surge of COVID-19 is finally here after about a 2-month climb in new cases. That's according to OHSU's Peter Graven.
I'm comfortable saying that. I think we saw a peak recently in the Northeast. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't have that happen here in Oregon. I think we're right around the top and should start seeing some declines.
We've been following Graven's forecast throughout the pandemic, along with Oregon State health officials. Graven says the latest variants have been very transmissible, but less severe for most people. So waves have gotten a bit harder to predict.
We used to have this nice, kind of time frame of cases peaked, and then about 10 or 12 days later, census would peak. And now it's a lot fuzzier.
For instance, the just released forecast has hospitalizations maxing out in Oregon at 313 on June 14th. That's not much different from the forecast 2 weeks ago that had 329 with COVID in the hospital on June 9th. But the total hospitalized as of June 3rd is 316, showing the difference between a forecast and the exact reality. In Clark County, health officials said a week ago that models show a peak of COVID activity should be near. Now, new case numbers are out, showing the slightest dip in new cases over a 7-day average, with 217.3 cases per 100,000 residents, down from 217.5 the previous week. Not enough to say they've peaked, but they are watching closely. This they know for sure.
Vaccinations are working, treatment's working. But we need, I think we need more people to do those things in order to see some more progress.
Back in Oregon, where we see a flattening of the current curve.
Hopefully our cases will start drifting downward as well. Those should happen any day now. And then we start looking to see what might come up this summer.
Which is hopefully a break, but don't expect an end.
It's not like this is going away. We expect this to continue to kind of move through the population, and then a new variant is going to try hard to take up that space afterwards.
And Graven is already watching a new variant, BA5, which is causing a lot of problems in Portugal right now, but with less severe consequences in Austria. And we do have some cases here in Oregon already. He says it's too soon to predict, though, how it might affect us. So stay tuned.
Yeah, a new variant, Tim, as we all learn to live with this for the long term. Thank you tonight. All right, an update. Nurses at Providence in Milwaukee and Providence Willamette Falls have now voted to authorize a strike, and they join those at Providence St. Vincent, who made the same decision last month. Now, between those three hospitals, this involves more than 2,000 nurses, highlighting issues that include staffing standards and patient care. However, and this is significant, this does not mean a strike is imminent. The union, the Oregon Nurses Association, must first give 10 days notice. And in a response today, Providence said in part in a statement, quote, "While we think it is premature and are disappointed by ONA's strike authorization votes, we are eager to continue dialogue with ONA as we work to find mutually agreeable solutions," end quote. And it added, if a strike happens, it has plans in place to care for patients.
Developing tonight, staffing issues are causing hours-long waits for responses to non-emergency calls in Portland. The Portland Bureau of Emergency Communications says a high number of sick employees today is behind the delay. And we want to be clear, though, this long delay is for non-emergency calls. 911 calls are still prioritized and being taken as quickly as possible.
Because we focus on 911, which is why people will be waiting so long on non-emergency. But because we have fewer call takers available today, it does mean 911 is waiting a bit longer than normal.
In the meantime, callers with non-emergency issues are urged to wait until another day or file a report online. Staff issues have been an ongoing problem at the agency. It says it's working to hire and train people, but that takes time. A KGW investigation in 2021 found 911 calls don't get answered fast enough in Portland. You can find that story on KGW.com.
An update about substance abuse treatment in Oregon. Now, we have reported extensively on how the state is last in the country per capita when it comes to access to treatment, and also on Measure 110 that legalized possession and earmarked funds for addiction services. Mike Benner joins us tonight. Mike, state auditors have been looking at how those funds are rolling out. How's it going?
Yeah, David, it's a super important task because of the importance of Measure 110. Passed in November 2020, Measure 110 decriminalizes small amounts of drugs like heroin, cocaine, and meth. But it also redirects millions of dollars in tax revenue from Oregon's legal marijuana industry to substance abuse treatment services. State auditors have been looking at how the project is running, and to put it simply, the project has some flaws. Among them, auditors found that only a fraction of the millions of dollars earmarked for treatment centers has actually been sent out. The trickle-down effect leaves people in desperate need of addiction help not getting that much needed help. However, some who testified at a hearing Thursday say it's not all doom and gloom.
I feel that these challenges can be overcome and corrected with deliberate, intentional, focused effort and courageous, solution-oriented conversations.
Yeah, also testifying at the hearing was the behavioral health director at the Oregon Health Authority. His name is Steve Allen. He says implementing a $300 million project will undoubtedly see bumps in the road, but he believes better days are ahead.
Thank you, Mike. The NASCAR Xfinity Series hit the Portland International Raceway today. It's the first time the event's been held in the Pacific Northwest in more than 20 years. As you know, there haven't been a lot of large events in Portland the last couple of years, so this will have a huge economic impact. Our Brian Clerkley has been there all day. Brian, you can hear them revving up there. They're expecting thousands of people there this weekend.
Hey Laurel, yes, 50,000 people. It's getting a little loud out here now because a lot of the racers are hitting the track for the qualifying round. The main race will start tomorrow afternoon, but you know, they expect a lot of people to come out here. This is one of the first large events in the city of Portland in the last 2 years, and a lot of the vendors are very excited about the crowds.
It's really nice to see the people here that we haven't seen in years. People are coming back into the area from out of state to see the events and to be able to involve themselves and stuff to make our economy a lot better.
Happening this weekend, the NASCAR Xfinity Series at the Portland International Raceway. Organizers say rain or shine, the drivers will race. This is one of the largest events the city has had since the pandemic started. Organizers say tickets are selling fast, but there's still some general admission tickets left. Leah Ford works at Wood Fired Pizza.
We're really proud to be able to be a part of the new opening of Portland, bringing back all of these events and stuff to the raceway. And all of the people here and stuff are really, really looking forward to having better weather. That'll bring more crowds.
This event marks the first NASCAR National Series stop in the Pacific Northwest in 22 years. Edward Bell came down from Vancouver, British Columbia. He says this was the closest race he could attend.
I had 5 trips lined up in 2019, had to cancel them all because of COVID. But yeah, I'm glad to be back on track again.
Along with the races and the food, there will also be live music. On Friday morning, excited NASCAR fans were already starting to pack the raceway as the cars were doing a practice run. Organizers say this race is expected to have a huge economic impact on the city.
In terms of hotel accommodations, restaurants, rental cars, people out shopping because, you know, we don't have sales tax here. So everybody who comes into town for the race, you know, they get so many other benefits of being in Portland.
And if people do want to come out, they can buy their tickets at the front, and then you can bring your kids. Anyone under the age of 12 gets free admission, whether they're an adult. Back to you guys.
I mean, Brian, we could barely hear what you said there, the tag, but I suppose that's actually the point. It is great to feel the excitement out there. Thank you, Brian.